We're in for another international break, and as always, it comes when the things get the most heated in the club season. And until our favourite teams return, let's take a look at 8 certain things we've learnt from the first quarter of 2024-25. And the first is certainly that Chelsea may have finally found their X Factor, who could actually bring glory back to Stamford Bridge. When the news broke that Mauricio Pochettino was to be sacked and replaced by Championship manager Enzo Maresca, the fans were sceptical after the Argentine had finally brought results at the end of last season. Tensions rose further in the summer when the Blues spent around €250 million on new players, some of whom were very similar in style of play, like Sancho, Joao Felix and Pedro Neto. As the season progressed, however, Chelsea have started to play the kind of organised and attractive football we haven't seen since the days of Thomas Tuchel. Cucurella is in top form, Nicholas Jackson is starting to gain confidence, the midfield duo of Enzo and Caicedo is becoming one of the best in the league, while Cole Palmer is undoubtedly one of the finest players in the world at the moment. Currently in 4th place, Maresca's Chelsea is certainly on the up, and it remains to be seen if they can continue their upward trajectory. Next up, another big change. Another positive boost for one of Europe's top clubs. Yes, we have Juventus, who have brought in former Barcelona and PSG player Thiago Motta. He made a huge impression at Bologna last season, leading them to a top 5 finish in Serie A for the first time in over a decade. His excellent work was closely monitored by Juve, who didn't think twice before snapping him up in the summer. His plans were ambitious, but in order to show them, he displayed a lot of directness and perhaps even stubbornness, which didn't sit well with some fans. But still, here we are 2 months into the season, and Juve are doing very well in Serie A, finally dreaming of the Scudetto after failing to win it in the last 3 seasons. Juve are undoubtedly the most defensively sound club in Europe, having conceded just 1 league goal so far. In return, Juve have spent around €150 million on a number of big-name transfers, including Kefran Turam, Pierre Kalulu, Douglas Luiz, and Teun Koopmeiners. Some fans are still complaining about the old ladies' draw record, 4 so far, but the highlight has to be their solid defence and good start in the Champions League, where they have gone 2 out of 2 against PSV and Leipzig in their first 2 games. However, all the superlatives we've used for Chelsea and Juve can be confirmed and even extended to the work of another new coach, Hansi Flick at Barcelona. The German arrived in June after the Catalans suffered a tough final season under Xavi, which saw Barca fail to win even a single trophy, and Flick's incredible professionalism was evident from the very start of pre-season. The main topic of conversation in his first few weeks at Barca was the club's only signing of the season, Dani Olmo, who cost Joan Laporta around €60 million. Personally, Flick was the man who preferred Olmo to Barca's other big transfer target, Nico Williams, but it seems that Hansi has been vindicated after Spain's top scorer at the Euros has been in fantastic form in the first 3 games. On the other hand, Barcelona are the team in the best form of the season and also have 3 of the best players in the top 5 leagues in Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski and Rafinha. If you want to know more about their resurgence, check out one of our latest uploads where we've all about Hansi Ball and Barcelona. However, unlike Barca, their arch rivals Real Madrid have lowered their standards this season compared to the excellent end of the 2023-24, when they won the Champions League and La Liga. The arrival of Kylian Mbappe was met with great expectations, but things have not gone to plan so far. Statistically, the superstar has maintained a good level, but if you've watched him play with his new team, you'll see the huge difference. Mbappe is still struggling to adjust to his new central role on the pitch, and also in the hierarchy at the Santiago Bernabeu, where Vini Jr. is the undisputed number 1. Without needlessly criticising Mbappe, he recently attracted the displeasure of the French national team when he refused to play in the Nations League due to muscular discomfort. A few days later, however, it emerged that he'd been spotted in a nightclub in Sweden at the same time as his compatriots were prepared to face Israel. All in all, this period of adjustment of his, combined with the lack of creativity in Madrid's midfield following the departure of Toni Kroos, is preventing them from not only keeping up with Barcelona, but also winning their games. Los Blancos have had a forgettable start to the season, winning just 65% of their matches as they failed to win 4 out of 11 in all competitions. Another thing we've learnt from the first 2 months of the season is that Vincent Kompany is a good manager and has the experience to run a top club. After an unsuccessful first season in the top flight, after leading Burnley to promotion from the Championship, many were surprised by his appointment at the Allianz Arena. But here he is beginning to implement his ideology with increasing success. Having been personally coached by Pep Guardiola, Kompany has undoubtedly benefited from his mentor's insight into the dynamics and demands of the German giants, as the Catalan himself managed Bayern not so long ago. Munich started the season with 5 wins from their first 5 games, but their form has dipped slightly in the last 2 weeks, with draws against Leverkusen and Frankfurt and a Champions League defeat to Aston Villa. The Bavarians travelled to the Olympic Stadium in Catalonia immediately after the break, where they will face their former coach Hansi Flick. Given their good run against Barcelona and recent signings such as Michael Olise and Joao Polina, this should be a very even match with chances at both ends. Going back to the Premier League, Liverpool fans may have already forgotten about Jurgen Klopp. Yes, that is a strong statement, but judging by the results, and more importantly, the style of play that the Reds have been playing under Arne Slot, it seems that fans are slowly becoming less nostalgic for the days of the German maestro. Slot's style, of course, differs from Klopp's in that he relies far more on solidity at the back. Evidence of this is the fact that Liverpool are top of the league in keeping clean sheets this season, with 5 in 7 games. But there is something else that stands out, and that is the resurrection of Ryan Gravenberch, who clearly needed someone close to him to develop his potential. Under Slot, the Dutch midfielder has flourished and is undoubtedly one of the best players in this Liverpool side. Other players who have enjoyed great form under Slot include Luis Diaz and Ibrahima Konate, who are also an integral part of the new system. Another thing we can't help but mention, even though it's been repeated so many times over the last 3 seasons, Arsenal are ready for the Premier League title. Arsenal are ready for the Champions League. We've heard it 1,000 times recently, but now, in 2024-25, we believe the time has come for the Gunners to triumph. Mikel Arteta has been at the helm for almost 5 years now, and in each of those 5 seasons, Arsenal have improved both in terms of selection and style of play. All of the big names signed in those 5 years, such as Ben White, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, David Raya, and Ricardo Calafiori, have played a crucial role in this side, which means that Arsenal have done some brilliant business in that time, with the only exceptions being Zinchenko and Ramsdale. Arsenal have made an excellent start to the campaign, with the only game they've missed out on a win being against Brighton and that ridiculous red card for Rice. In all of the matches, including the draw with Man City, Arsenal have been the better team, and the fact that the Gunners almost won at home to their great rivals, playing 45 minutes a man down, is a huge testament to the potential of Arteta's Arsenal in 2024-25. Of the top 5 leagues, the only one we haven't touched on is Ligue 1, and PSG in particular. The Parisians have gone from having one of the best attacking trios in the world, with Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, to having Dembele, Bradley Barcola and Kangin Lee in just 2 years. This will surely be remembered as one of the biggest downgrades in the last decade, but that's not the important thing. The trend we've seen in the first 2 months of the season is that PSG are likely to struggle to qualify for the Champions League final again. What's more, not only will they probably fail to make the knockout stages of the tournament, but they may not even win the Ligue 1 title. This season, they'll face serious opposition from Monaco, who haven't won the title in 8 seasons and who feel now is the perfect time to pull off the upset and dethrone the 12-time French champions. Monaco are currently top of the league and have already beaten Barcelona twice this season, in friendly and in the first round of the Champions League, making them the team in best form right now. They are also the only team in France not to have lost since the start of the 2024-25 season. There are a lot of trends we just couldn't mention in this video, so we'll leave it to you to give your honest opinion on what interesting stuff you've noticed since the start of the season. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. We also invite you to subscribe to our channel if you like what you watch. If this is the first time you've come across our videos, feel free to click on some of the latest uploads we've posted. Until next time.